Welcome to the Mind Body Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Laura Gilly, certified mindset and manifestation coach, yoga and meditation teacher, and wellness retreat leader. This podcast is your go-to space for all things spirituality, subconscious reprogramming, manifestation, personal development, and entrepreneurship. I'm here to help ambitious women and female leaders like you step into your fullest potential so you can impact the world with your unique gifts and create the life of your wildest dreams. Each week, we'll dive deep into soulful conversations, actionable strategies, tools, and mindset shifts that will help you up-level your reality and create success from the inside out. So if you're ready to elevate your mind, heal within, and manifest unstoppable success, you're in the right place. Let's go. Welcome back to the Mind Body Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Laura, and I am so excited to chat with you about today's message. We are in the midst of such a powerful, energetic season. It is fall season. We are just navigating through a bunch of eclipses. We had the full moon eclipse in Pisces, and we just went through September 9th, 2025, which is the 9/9 portal. So let me explain what all of that is about. But in numerology, the number 9 represents completion and fulfillment. It's like cycles ending, doors closing, and new beginnings coming into fruition. And the fall season, of course, just reminds us of how the leaves fall off the trees. It's inviting us to shed old patterns, habits, limiting beliefs. Just release the things that drain you so that you can root into what nourishes you. The fall season invites us to slow down, to ground our energy, to tune inwards and find what needs to be released to create space for something better to come in. And then the eclipse season is really like a cosmic course correction. So eclipses bring also endings. It can be a rapid timeline shift, like a divine intervention, forcing things to fall away so that you can be redirected towards your soul's path. So sometimes this is really intense feeling. It can feel really sudden if you're not ready for it, like losing a job or relationship dynamics changing, but also maybe you're just shifting your identity and letting go of things that maybe you weren't quite ready to let go of. So my point here is that all of that, everything we're going through today, this year being a year 9 in numerology, 2025, when you add up the numbers, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, as a collective are also going through this full cycle of completion. And so right now, that's what all of this is about. This is the perfect time for you to close out old cycles and just call in the next chapter of your life. So I want you to take a moment and just begin to reflect. Have you ever noticed how the same patterns, the same lessons, maybe even the same type of people or situations keep showing up in your life until you finally choose differently? Well, that is what this episode is all about. Evolve or repeat. And the cycle that we are in right now, this energy of what's going on collectively, is inviting you to stop repeating these cycles and step into your next level. It's time for you to evolve. The truth is, the universe is pretty generous with opportunities. Like, it's going to keep recycling lessons until you decide to take the next step, until you decide that you are no longer available for that old story. You're no longer available for that limiting belief or that way of being that isn't serving you. And honestly, I think that's what life truly is all about. We are here on earth to evolve. This is your soul's destiny. This is what your soul signed up for when you came to Earth, is to learn the lessons so that you can evolve and become more conscious and a higher vibration, a higher version of yourself. So if you are feeling the energy of this, you are not the only one. We're all feeling it to some degree. And I'll be real with you. I used to be, and sometimes still am, the queen of recycling and repeating cycles, especially when it came to relationships. So in my 20s, I used to have this pattern where I would, if my boyfriend and I would break up, I'd still see them, still text, kind of keep that door cracked open. But deep down, I knew that I wanted a full, deep, committed relationship. And I realized that I was settling because the alternative felt scarier, like being alone felt scarier, or I just wasn't owning my worth. And that lesson kept repeating until I finally one day got brave enough to say, like, if you're not ready for a committed relationship, like, no contact. And that was really scary. But when I finally held that boundary for myself and owned what I wanted and needed, it changed everything. And the guy that I was dating at the time then became my husband. And here we are, living happily ever after. So my point is that experience taught me that we evolve the second that we choose differently. But if we don't, we will just continue to repeat the same lesson, and it will keep coming back, maybe in different ways. It will show up in a different relationship. If you are feeling that energy, if you feel like you are in the midst of change or transition in your life, maybe something has fallen away that you're not ready for, that can also feel really unsettling. And sometimes the universe has to clear things out of our life in order to create space for something better to come in. Sometimes things are shifting and changing in our life when we're not ready to let go of them because it's shifting us towards our higher path. So that's the energy of the eclipse season that we're in right now. And I remember feeling this really strongly about a decade ago when I was turning 30. It was around my Saturn return. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but if you're new here, I'm just going to share quickly. It felt like everything in my life was changing or falling apart. And my long-term relationship had ended. My parents were getting divorced. I was questioning my career. I was in corporate at the time and feeling unfulfilled and like I was meant for something else. There was just so much unknown that it was messy and scary. But it was also one of the biggest turning points of my life because when I finally surrendered to all of this, I trusted my intuition and stopped clinging to what had already run its course. Everything started to shift. From there, in the coming months and years, I met my husband. I started my soul-aligned business that feels so fulfilling. I began traveling the world, hosting retreats. My family relationship got stronger with my parents, and I fully stepped into my purpose of helping other women heal and rewire and manifest their dream lives. And my mantra for so long became leap and the net will appear, because you have to trust in the unknown and surrender and allow yourself to be guided along the way. And that is what has happened for me since then. And now where we are in this season of life, here I am, 10 years later from that huge transformation. I'm about 39 weeks pregnant, about to birth my second child, and in this whole other portal. Like, birth is a portal in itself. Birth has been probably the ultimate lesson for me in manifestation and surrender. With my first child, I leaned so deeply into hypnobirthing, natural birth, like trusting my body's intuition. And it showed me that the same principles I teach in manifestation, like trusting in the unknown, aligning your mind and body with your desires, regulating your nervous system, are the same tools that I could use in the most intense portal of my life, like giving birth is an intense spiritual portal. And this time around, I'm feeling that same energy, that same activation. It transforms you on such a deep level. I feel like now that it's even expanding into other areas of my life. I feel like I'm also being initiated into a whole new level of leadership within my work. And I can see these patterns in my clients so clearly right now that I feel like my intuition has been really turned up. Like right before you give birth, you have to really be in tune with your body. And that intuition is coming online so much that it's helping me in my work as well. And I know that I am here to guide women through that same choice that I've had to make again and again, evolve or repeat. So yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just that sometimes we have to let go of the things that we feel we need to control in order to like get out of the way and allow nature to take its course. And this is what happens in birth. Like in hypnobirthing especially, you're not pushing or forcing. I mean, there's some pushing to getting the baby out, but you're not like moving against your body. I'm not forcing the baby to come out on my terms. I get out of the way, allow my body to do what it knows best. I trust my body and my baby to do the work. And I think that is what allowed me to have such an amazing birth experience with my first child. Like no pain, no tearing, no pain medications, no interventions, just done beautifully. And that's exactly what I'm doing again this time. And so the whole point is like, how can you take that lesson of surrendering to the unknown and apply it into your life? What do you need to let go of in order to create something better than you could have ever imagined? If you feel like you're on the brink of evolving or on the brink of transformation, I want to just talk about a few signs to recognize and know when you are there. So if you feel like you are no longer satisfied with things just being like fine in your life, maybe that's the job that pays the bills but drains your soul, or maybe it's the relationship that feels comfortable but is lacking the real depth that you're looking for. Or maybe it's the daily routine that you're in that just feels like you're surviving and not like truly thriving. There's habits and patterns in your life that just are starting to feel very heavy. Maybe before you were just moving through them, but now it's like, cannot do this anymore. So maybe it's things like you holding higher boundaries, like you're no longer willing to say yes to things that feel really like a no. Or maybe it's a habit like numbing out by drinking wine when you're stressed out, or scrolling Instagram and you're like, I'm done doing this. It's not serving me. Or maybe it's overworking for self-validation, or maybe it's people pleasing, like not really speaking your truth just to avoid conflict. Another thing could be that your intuition has really come online and it won't shut up. Like it keeps nudging you towards a certain path. Things keep happening like synchronistically in your life. Or maybe there's even dreams. Maybe you're having dreams that are telling you like it's leading you towards there's something more for you. Another sign would be is that you are really feeling both fear and excitement at the same time. So when you're on the brink of transformation, there's like a fine line between getting excited and feeling the fear of the unknown. And so if you're feeling that, that's a good sign. You're on the brink of a breakthrough. Another sign could be that you are really just craving more alignment, more freedom, more soul fulfillment than certainty. And you'd rather risk stepping into the unknown than to keep settling for a life that just looks good but doesn't feel that great inside. And I want to take this even a layer deeper here, because this isn't really just about willpower. It's about your energy and your subconscious programming. So many of our cycles and our lessons can be traced back to a belief system that's within your chakra system. And all of our beliefs are formed within the first, well, especially formed and programmed into our subconscious mind within the first 7 years of life, because our brains haven't fully developed yet. Our conscious, logical thinking brain hasn't fully formed up until the age of 7. This is why when you were a kid, you probably believed in Santa Claus until you were around the age of 7. You started to question whether he was really real because your logical thinking brain started to come online. So those first 7 years of life, you are downloading belief systems just based on what you are experiencing, what you're noticing, the dynamics within your family, things you're experiencing within society as a whole or at school. And sometimes we pick up these fears and limiting beliefs from our experiences in childhood, but it also could go back as far as like past lives. Sometimes it's even inherited beliefs and patterns from past generations. And if we look at every single fear or limiting belief, it can be traced back to a certain chakra. So the chakras are your energy centers of the body, and each one relates to a different aspect of your life. And when your chakras when you have a bunch of fears and limiting beliefs, your chakras become blocked and you become a channel where you're sending out mixed signals to the universe. So it's like you're saying, I want this dream relationship. But if you have a fear or a limiting belief that's saying like, deep down, I fear that I'll be abandoned, you're saying one thing and believing something else, which is blocking your energy centers, and you're sending out like static energy. And so if you think about it like a radio station, if you are like sending out a radio signal with your energy and your frequency, you can't attract the thing that you desire if your channel isn't aligned with the channel that your thing is on. So if you're sending out static energy, you can't actually achieve the thing that you're wanting that's on this certain channel. So when you clear out your fears and limiting beliefs, you heal them, you rewire them on a subconscious level, your energy channels, your chakras start to become more aligned. You become a clear energetic channel to receiving the things that you desire, and manifesting them becomes so much easier. You're no longer then cycling through the same patterns, the same habits, the same self-sabotage. You're finally able to evolve. So let me give you some examples. Like a blocked root chakra might show up as like money never feeling safe. You could have some scarcity programming in there. A blocked heart chakra might show up as settling for unavailable partners because deep down you fear abandonment. A blocked throat chakra might show up as being scared to speak your truth or to put yourself out there. And so again, when we go back to the root and we rewire those patterns, the cycles break. And that's when you stop repeating and you start evolving. And this is exactly the work that we're going to be doing inside of my new 12-week program, Aligned and Abundant. I'm so excited for this. It's a powerful live group coaching program where I will be guiding you through the chakra system. We're going to use that as our roadmap to uncover your specific core wounds, your specific fears and limiting beliefs within each chakra, and rewire them on a subconscious and a nervous system level so that you can finally release what's holding you back and step fully into your next level. And we're going to be doing all of this deep rewiring and inner work on the coaching calls. This is for the busy woman who's like, I don't have time to watch another 10-hour-long course videos and try and figure this out on my own. No, we're going to be doing this in an intimate group container live weekly. We'll meet weekly on Zoom, and you'll also get access to some other powerful tools as well. So you'll be learning a bit about your human design, which is your unique energy blueprint. Every single person has a completely different human design. Like your energy centers are programmed differently than every single person. So you're going to learn a bit about your human design and how to work with your unique energy centers to make the best decisions that are in alignment with your energy and how to show up best in your energy. We're going to be doing an opening ceremony that will help you to get clear on your dreams, your vision, your goals, and make sure that it's in alignment with your true values. And then you're going to learn how to work with the universal laws. So if you're not familiar with what the universal laws, they're basically like cheat codes to the universe. When you understand what the universal laws are and how they're at play all the time, you can use them to your advantage. So you can start creating your reality in a way that makes sense because you're not like fighting uphill. You're working with the laws of the universe. Like, here's how the world works, and here's how to use these tools to your advantage. And then, of course, we're going to go over a whole week on money and success and rewiring your system to be wired for money and success. And then we're going to end it with a closing ceremony to help you integrate everything that you've been learning and healing through, like lots of inner child healing work, and help you activate your next level timeline. So this is going to be so powerful. In between the calls, you will get custom hypnosis tracks that I've created for you to help you to continue this rewiring process. You listen to them right before you fall asleep. Like, you can fall asleep listening to it and it will rewire your subconscious mind, because I'll briefly explain this, but your subconscious is most open and receptive to what you feed it when your brain goes into theta brainwaves, which happens when you're in a deeply relaxed state, especially when you're sleeping. So you don't have to listen or pay attention to it. You can just let it play in the background and it will rewire your subconscious mind. So you can listen to the hypnosis when you fall asleep or right when you first wake up and you're still kind of groggy. Maybe you haven't even gotten out of bed yet. You're just waking up. Your brain is still in theta. Okay, the second that you start checking your emails and rushing out the door, like, you've moved into a different brainwave states. Those are the best times to rewire your subconscious. And we're going to be starting this program the first week of October and ending right before Christmas. So you're going to complete this program before the holidays. You can step into the stress and the chaos that can sometimes happen with the holidays, feeling like you're an entirely new version of yourself and you can handle things that once triggered you so much easier. So if this feels like your vibe and you are ready to join us, I want to invite you to take a look at the program inside of the show notes. I'll put the link there. You can learn more about it, or send me a DM on Instagram at mind.body manifest, and I'd love to chat with you about this and where you are, and to see if this might be the next best thing for you, a good fit for you. And just remember, I'm going to leave you with this. Just remember that the universe will keep handing you the same lessons until you decide to choose differently. So the choice is always yours: evolve or repeat. And the energy portal that we are in right now is prime for you to let go of those cycles and patterns and habits and fears and limiting beliefs and truly start to evolve. All right, that is it for today. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mind Body Manifest podcast. I hope today's episode brought you clarity, inspiration, and some powerful takeaways. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to share it with a friend who could use this message. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'd also love for you to rate and review the show. It helps get this message out to more amazing women just like you, and I truly appreciate every single bit of your support. Until next time, keep elevating your mind, healing within, and manifesting your most abundant life.